I'm Caleb Brooks with the AHSAA Radio Network. We're at the Birmingham Media Days. I'm joined by Coach Alex Wilson from Huffman High School. Coach, first of all, thank you for taking the time to join me today. These media days here I think is a great thing for not only your program, but for these kids as well to, give them an opportunity to come out here in front of the media, talk about your program, talk about what you guys have done, and really get football season started. But how excited are you to put the pads on next week and get to work on actual football?
Well, we got to go about 2 or 3 days without the pads.
Yeah.
But everybody excited to get back at it. Everybody waiting on Monday.
For you guys last year, it wasn't the year that you envisioned having, but, sometimes you have to deal with tough years like that. But overall, how have you seen your team respond this spring and this summer to last season and work to make it a better year this year?
All the adversity we went through last season and everything that didn't culminate to what went on, soon it was over with, I was just impressed how them guys came together after that last game. They called their own meeting. I ain't had to say nothing, and they've been all in ever since.
I interviewed your quarterback, Jalen Evans, earlier this summer, and, I've been keeping up kind of with him and the extra work that he's been putting in. What's it like to have the guy that's going to be your quarterback, your leader, and you see, okay, this guy's going in and putting even more work in outside of what we're doing here, and that's a guy that's going to be a good leader for your team.
Jalen's an outstanding young man, and pretty much like he said earlier, a lot of times, they came up when there wasn't any coaches there, on Fridays and Saturdays, and so coach, they leave the gate open, they go out there and they run through all their plays, the whole 9 yards. So that's something that you haven't seen in the past. But he's an outstanding young man. He's a great leader, and right now they're gonna follow him.
And how much easier does that make your job as a coach when you don't have to ask players to put in extra work and they're willing to go and do stuff like that?
Coach, that's a blessing, Coach. You can't complain about that.
That doesn't come around.
It don't come around often, because you got a lot of individuals all about me, and I. So, but like I said, that young man right there is special, and he takes lead of the offense, and have another young man named Ochino. He just takes leads of the defense. So,
obviously last year, like I mentioned, it wasn't the year that you envisioned going into the season, but what are some of the things that you as a coaching staff are doing to change things and to make sure that doesn't happen again and you don't have a repeat of last season?
Well, we still doing us, with all the injuries we had, that we can't control that. So, but as for the staff, they've all in too also, and I brought in a couple of new guys and everybody working together. You
mentioned the injuries, and that last year I remember looking at just seeing them just piling. But how difficult is that to deal with when it's good to have depth, and I think that you guys did have some depth, but after a while the depth just got. So how hard was that to deal with as a coach? Man,
I be trying to forget about last season because we lost 4 defensive starters in the first quarter.
Oh yeah.
So it was tough.
When you're going into a season, to have, you set your starters, you got your 11 on offense, your 11 on defense. Then to lose 4 of them on one side of the football as early as you did, how difficult is that for a team to bounce back off that and try to deal with that as the season went on? And how did you feel about how your team did deal with all the injuries and try to get through the season again?
Well, I think a lot of those young kids that were forced into action early, I think they did a good job. I couldn't complain. They did what we asked them to do, and like our trainer, James Jones, was saying, he said, Coach, we always focus on strength and conditioning. We focus on nutrition. And he said the one thing we haven't been focusing on is rest. He said a lot of them, they stand up all night playing these games and try to come the next day and play a game, that he said that might be playing a part in it. So we've been focusing on that aspect also, get a lot of rest, get more rest.
Going into this season, what would you set as the goals and the expectations for this team? Because, I really feel like y'all's record last year didn't show the type of team that you had. So if you stay healthy, I feel like you guys have a good opportunity to have a good season this year. But what would you as the head coach set as the goals and, the expectations that you guys need to reach this year for you?
Well, our main goal right now is to compete and try to win a region championship. And the only way we're going to do that, we always got to stay together. We got to remain as one family and just play hard for each one another. And right now, they love each other. I'm telling you, they love each other. I mean, they hang out right now, and they got their own little group, whatever they call them. What they call them, little group meets.
Oh yeah, the group meets and the
I'm still trying to learn all that,
Snapchats,
the Twitter and stuff. I'm still trying to learn all that stuff. They've been teaching me, but our goals are the same. We want to compete, try to win a region championship.
For your school, I mean, basketball's been very successful the last couple of years. How much do you think that their success can kind of carry over to you guys and help you guys as well? Because I was talking to Coach Ward, and a couple of his guys are going to come out and play for you guys this year. So how much do you think that could help, having guys that know how to win and have been a part of winning now come and be a part of your program?
Oh, that's very important. We've been trying to work together, and for years, and with the success what Michael had. A lot of them, they came to me and they said, "Coach, we coming out there this year." And I said, when you come, I'll be glad to have you. So they out there, and like young man James Burgess, man, ooh, Lord, he's a competitor. Yeah. We lost a tough one over there against Ridgeland over there at UAB last weekend, and he was like, "Coach, don't worry about it. We got you this season."
That makes it a lot easier for you. I mean, when you have a team that has that kind of competitive drive and you're not having to try to push them to do stuff they're wanting to do on their own. I mean, that just got to make it easy for you. So, Coach, I appreciate you taking the time to join me. Good luck to you guys this year. Hopefully you guys can stay healthy, and, we look forward to seeing what the results of that are.
Oh, Coach, I ain't worried about nothing this year.